Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. We're here. Let's take a deep breath, everyone, together. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Hello. Welcome to episode 3 of Sherapy. Today's episode is just going to be a solo episode. And I'm not going to do multiple takes like I usually do when it's by myself, because I always try to make it perfect and everything, but it's hard to make a 45-minute or a 30-minute episode perfect. Sometimes you just got to go with the flow. Today's my birthday. I turned 23 years old today. Let me give a round of applause just for myself. Oh, wait, wrong one. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys very much. Thank you guys. Oh, please, stop. All right, enough clapping, guys, please, because I'm trying to have a podcast. Okay, enough. Thank you, I got it. Round of applause. All right, that's actually the last one. Please settle down, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. So, we're here, and on my birthday, I decided to make an episode because I wanted to talk about me over the last 5 years. Last year, I was going to put out a TikTok giving like my best pieces of advice for people ages 18 to 21. But I didn't end up posting it, and I don't know why. I feel like I should have. But maybe it's fitting, actually, because I didn't end up posting that one. I am now 23 and I'm going to release a whole podcast just about me and my advice that I can share with you guys. There's no structure to this episode. I'm just going to talk about what I've been doing the last 5 years. And I'm going to share that in hopes that someone maybe can do better with their time, maybe. But I'm going to get right into it. If you know me, then you know I moved back to America for Valentine's Day of 2019. That's when I moved back from Iran to America. I was born in America, but then I left and I came back. That's a whole nother story for another podcast episode. But I just want to talk about the last 5 years, from 2019 until now, 2024. So yeah, I came here February. I got my first car in November. I started doing DoorDash, which was, it's pretty like a basic standard job when you're trying to like make some money on the side or whatever, or at least start saving up some money. So I lived with my mom, my brother, and I would start dashing, and I would just dash. Soon after, just a few months after that, January of 2020 is when I officially joined Verizon. I was a Verizon sales rep. If you don't know, Verizon is a phone company here in the States, and you sell phones and phone service to people. So I was a salesman in a store, in one of like the higher traffic stores, actually, at the Irvine Spectrum, until I later got moved to another store that was less traffic, but still, I learned a lot. I was at Verizon for 2 years, actually. And that's one thing that I want to touch on. One of my biggest mistakes was that as soon as I got a job, which I was still 18 years old when I got the job, I immediately thought, okay, I got all my shit together. I have my life figured out. Boom, time for me to move out. That was the silliest thing I could have done by far. Like I think about it every day, and I think about how much money I could have saved had I stayed. Let me explain something to you. If you have parents that are willing to not take you, but to keep you for an extended period of time, like past the age of 18 years old, then buddy, you should fucking cherish that. Okay? I'm blessed. I have Middle Eastern parents. I have Persian parents. If my parents could, they would keep me until I'm 30 years old, right here in this house with them. They would keep all of us, my siblings too, and everything. Just because they like having everyone together. It's a thing for them. My mom was very against me moving out. She did not want me to move out. I had to have long, long talks with my dad in order to make this work. Because I just didn't want to have it. It's not like I was having any problems or anything. I wanted to have my own space. I wanted to be my own adult. I wanted to pay my own bills. And I figured that if I got myself out of this house with my mom and my comfort zone, if I got out of my comfort zone, then I would be forced to become successful. Like, I would have to do it. Like, once I move out, then boom. The money's going to start rolling in. I'm going to start hustling more. I'm going to open different venues, different avenues of income streams, like just fucking this, that, this. Everything would start working out as soon as I moved out. That was always my mentality. And then I moved out and I saw what the real world was like. Paying bills, having to pay rent, buy your own food, buy your own groceries, start cooking for yourself. What? Insane. I cannot tell you how many pastas I had, how much butter and oil I probably consumed. I mean, that's why I literally got to my fattest point when I moved out, but we'll get to that. As soon as I got to Verizon, January 2020, I started saving up a little bit of money. And once I had a little bit of money saved up, that's when I was like, all right, time to move. So in May of 2020, just a few short months after I officially got a job, I wasn't even making serious money because it's sales at the end of the day. I was making commission. And in the beginning, my sales weren't as high, obviously. But I decided to move out anyway. And I moved in with my two best friends. And that was fun while it lasted. Let me tell you something about moving in with your friends, okay? Because I feel like a lot of you guys need to hear this. Because I know people that are planning on moving in with their friends eventually at some point, which is great. Just realize that you're probably going to end up hating this person just because you didn't know who they really were until you moved in with them. Like, moving in with someone, you learn a lot about a motherfucker, let me tell you. You learn everything about them. You learn a little too much, in my opinion. Too much for your own good, too much for their own good. Some things, they're meant to be private. Now, let me just say, I had the best time with my friends. The way that I'm making it sounds obviously like it was like hell, but it wasn't. I had so much fun. We enjoyed our time together. And keep in mind, this was like quarantine time. This was COVID time. COVID happened in January of 2020, right? And then a few months later, I decide to become a man all of a sudden and want to go fucking move out and start paying rent for myself in the middle of a fucking pandemic? Weird decision by me. I think about it all the time. It keeps me up at night, but you live and you learn. So I moved out and I lived with my best friends for like 5-6 months. And then I was like, fuck this. I'm out of here. I need to live by myself. So I moved from that little house that we had rented out from this landlord, paying like an okay amount of rent because we were splitting it 3 ways, to moving to a studio apartment, paying double what I was paying at my friend's place, and living in this dark, tiny ass studio apartment that had no sunlight, nothing. It was just like a little box. It was a little box, and this box was supposed to make me millions of dollars. I was supposed to make sure this is loud enough. I was supposed to make my millions in this box because now I don't have any distractions. Now my friends are in here. I'm solo, and yeah, now everything's just going to fit into place. Well, you can imagine how that was not the case. I actually developed a bit of a gambling addiction. Yes, I am throwing that word out there. Addiction. yeah, I was kind of like considering not being like open and vulnerable on this podcast about like the bad shit, but that's the whole point of this podcast. It's to be fucking real. And I have to be honest with myself. And if I'm going to have a fucking podcast where I'm talking to people, like, then I better be willing to share, you know? Yeah, I gambled for a little bit. That was ugly. Especially when you're alone gambling. Like, oh my God. The saddest thing that a young man can do is sit in his room and gamble away money. Like, and you know what the fucked up part is? It's like, it was online gambling. So it was all like online on a computer, which is stupid in and of itself. Like the fact that kids now have that much access to blow up their bank accounts and wallets. I mean, obviously you can blow up your bank account anywhere spending money, but like you can blow by fast with gambling, like 10 times the speed. Like if you were addicted to crack, you could not blow through that much money than you can with sitting down and gambling on your computer. So I gambled for a little while, lost a shit ton of, like in the beginning, you know, you hit something. In the beginning you win something and you're like, oh wow, maybe I can utilize this. Maybe this can be like a thing for me. Maybe I can make some side money from this anytime I'm low, or maybe this can work. I'm honestly very glad that I got over that pretty quick, especially sports betting. I got into sports betting too. There was the online casino with like, you know, like the blackjack and the roulette and all that bullshit. But then there was the fucking sports betting side of it, which that got ugly because I couldn't even sit down and enjoy watching the game that I love anymore without having money on it. Think about that. Like a game that I grew up watching, a game that I fucking have idols in. I could not even sit and enjoy watching it anymore because I was like, I don't have money on this. Why do I give a fuck? But soon I realized like this could not go on for long. Like my bank account drained immediately. I had to start door dashing. Picture this. I have my own apartment. I have my job. And because my addiction got so bad, I start door dashing again. What the fuck? So now I'm working from like 9 to 5 at Verizon and 6 to 10 as a DoorDash driver, trying to make up for the money that I lost. Listen, take a word of advice from this. Don't gamble. It's fucking stupid. I cannot emphasize this enough. Just don't, okay? That's one thing that I got to get out of the way. Like, even if you are going to gamble, just, I'm lucky. You know, I did it when I was young and I didn't have much to lose. Like, I didn't lose like a mortgage or a house or like, you know, I lost a few $1,000. You know, just nothing like insane. I lost a few $1,000s gambling. Yeah. But now I know how fucking stupid and rigged that shit is. So I won't do it. Or if I do it now, I bet like $5-10 on something. I won't go and spend like hundreds of dollars like the way I fucking used to. Like that was bad. That was bad, and I was trying to get rich. I remember putting $350 on a 3-way parlay. 2 of the legs of the parlay were, if you don't know what a parlay is like when you put 3 different bets, like of 3 different things to happen, and all 3 of them have to happen in order for you to win. And because it's 3 different things that have to happen, obviously the payout is a lot higher than if you were to just bet on one thing. But it's riskier, obviously, because you're betting on 3 different things to occur in order for you to win. So I did that one time. I put like $500 on something, on 2 NBA games and an NFL game. So 2 basketball games, 1 NFL game. The 2 basketball games, they hit. The NFL one was supposed to be perfect, everything. And I was going to win $1,500. What the fuck do you think happened? What do you think happened? Lost $500. That was like the moment I was like, all right, no, this is bad. So I stopped. But yeah, don't gamble. That's like number 1 thing. Oh, And my stocks. I used to do stocks. Yeah, it's funny because like I'm following like my gambling addiction with stocks. Let me tell you something. Stocks is not the same thing as gambling. A lot of people will tell you that it is. Yes, there obviously is similarities to it, but if you do your research on stocks, if you really, really sit down and you study the charts, and if you study you can make calculated risks in stocks. You can still blow your money and lose everything, but it depends on what you're doing. Some people, invest for the long term. Some people, short term, they trade trying to make quick profits, which is what I used to do. If you remember, for those of you that don't know, I used to have an Instagram account. See, like right now, if I was recording myself, like just me by myself, I would restart everything just because of that one little stutter that I had right there. That tiny little stutter. But thankfully, I don't give a fuck anymore. So, what was I talking about? The gambling, and then we went to stocks. Oh, right. The stocks. I genuinely want to get back into trading. For those of you that trade, like it's an exhilarating feeling, honestly. Similar to fucking gambling, which is maybe why I liked trading stocks, but I want to get back into it. The only reason that I stopped trading, for those of you that always ask me, why did you stop trading in the stock market, Shine? Why did you stop posting videos about the stock market? The only reason I stopped was because I moved out of my mom's, and I needed to use that money that I had in my trading account, which was not much. It was just like a few grand. I needed to use that money in order to pay for furniture, for my apartment rent, for everything, everything that goes into the cost of getting a new place for yourself and getting settled. I needed to do all that. So I had to put a pause on my trading, which also I regret. If I would have kept going with that, what an amazing journey that would have been. So I'm living with my friends, which was May of 2020, and then I move out, and then I get my own apartment, and then I meet this girl. And, we really hit it off. Everything was great. And then we decided that we want to become roommates together. So I was roommates with this girl who will remain nameless for now for about a year. That year really taught me a lot. I think I was at my lowest that year, and I feel like she would say the same thing as well. Like physically, mentally. Oh, and another thing that I'm going to open up about, I started smoking weed heavily. Shocker. Yeah. I know, to some of you guys, that's like old news, but I tried to keep all my smoking stuff low key and off the gram, just out of respect for the fact that I have family and stuff. Always like alcohol, smoking, everything, like anything to incriminate my image in front of my family members, I would not post out there. But again, we're at a point right now where I'm 23, man. Like you can chill, okay? If you don't like to hear it, that's fine. Bye. But this is me. This is the reality of me. I picked up smoking weed, and for someone like me that that likes to laugh, that likes to talk, that likes to chill with friends, like it's the perfect thing for me. Like it fits the description, honestly. But it took a big toll in my life. I started smoking like a lot, to be honest. Like an amount that you shouldn't be. Every day. It was every day. I mean, what the fuck? Like, why am I sugar? It was every day I was smoking. And I was getting huge as well. I was at my peak. I weighed 202 pounds, to be exact. I wasn't going to the gym. I wasn't eating good. I would literally go to Taco Bell at like fucking 3 o'clock in the morning and get myself a chicken quesadilla with like 4 or 5 sauce packets. I'm sorry, not 4 or 5 different. 4 or 5 different flavors, but each one I would get like 4 or 5. I would have like 20 sauce packets in my fucking car. And I had this little table that you can set up on your steering wheel. And I would sit down, and I wouldn't even go home. I would just sit down in my car in the parking lot, have my Taco Bell, and watch my phone. That was me. It was ridiculously toxic, the lifestyle that I was living. And eventually that girl, she moved out like a month before I at least even ended, because it was just too much. We were just dealing with a lot at that point. Maybe I'll make a whole episode about that at another time, because that year was chaotic. But yeah, I would come. I was still working at Verizon, and I would literally like just picture this lifestyle. You know, you wake up tired as fuck. You know, everything just, your head is like not banging, but you can tell it's not clear. It's foggy a little bit still. You go to work. You know, you clock in. My work was like literally 2 minutes away from my apartment too, the apartment that I had with this girl, which was perfect for me because I could I could do anything I fucking wanted. I had too much freedom, honestly. I would take 45-minute break, an hour break. I would smoke weed sometimes, which before work, smoking weed is probably not the best choice you can make, even though now, for some reason, now it's legal in California to do so. Not like it was illegal back then, but it's, you know, it's just not a good look. But I kept my shit together most of the time. Not most of the time, all the time, dude. Like I was, when I look back at that period of my life, I would smoke and then go to work, and then for lunch I would come back home, watch an episode of The Office, and then head back into work. And then after work I would come back home, smoke some more, play some video games, and my roommate would come back, we'd make some dinner, we'd watch a movie or something, smoke a little more, and then straight to bed the next day. Like, don't get me wrong, it was fun while it lasted, but that kind of shit doesn't last long, and you can't sustain your life like that. It's not good, especially like your brain, like you're slowing your brain development down, I feel like. Especially when you're that age and your brain hasn't fully developed yet. Like, smoking every day is not good. It's really not good. And I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical expert whatsoever. But I know one thing, and it's that smoking weed every single day cannot be good for you. It just can't. Especially as a young guy, as a young adult. Like, you are literally putting a cap on your potential. Here's what I think. I think that marijuana, because everyone knows, like, marijuana was just recently legalized in the United States, like within the last few years. I think that, and this is just a theory, obviously, I'm just throwing this out there, I think that they legalized marijuana to keep people content. Because when you're smoking, and I know this firsthand, obviously, you don't give a fuck about anything. You know? Like, there can be all these problems around you. Your family could be having problems. You got no money in the bank account. Your girl hates you. You got no friends, whatever. But as soon as you hit that fucking blunt, as soon as you hit that joint, it's like, who gives a shit? I'm here. I'm breathing. I'm alive. And I'm happy. It's funny because the way I'm making it sounds like the most wonderful thing. No, listen. I have a I'm sorry. No, it's just, it's not good. It's not good. I'm not high right now. I hope you guys are like, I hope no one thinks like I'm high or something right now. I'm just laughing because like, whatever, man. Like everything in moderation. That's all I'm fucking saying. I'm not saying don't smoke pot. Like if that's your thing, like people drink, right? Like people go out to bars and they drink and they go to clubs and whatever. They do coke and all that. Like if you want to smoke a little weed, go ahead, smoke a little weed, but don't let it consume you. That's all I'm saying, man. Everything in moderation. Why are you smoking weed even, bro? Like I watched this video that really fucking hit me. It was like this rapper or something, and he was just saying like, you know, there are people right now watching this video and they're smoking or they're high as hell. Bro, why are you high as hell? You got shit to do. And that's so accurate. Like you smoke when you know you can chill, when it's time to relax. But us, it's not time to fucking relax. It's time to get at it, man. Like I'm not retired. I'm not a 40-year-old dad with 7 kids that has to work 3 jobs. No, I'm a 20-something-year-old living with my mom. Like right now is not the time to be fucking around and relaxing. Now is the time to get to work. Anyways, geez, got me all riled up here. I have this talk with myself, by the way, like all the time. I just hope you know that. So let me tell you, I lived with the girl for a year. So in total, like my whole moving out thing, 6 months with my friends, 6 months by myself, and then a year with this girl. 2 years. 2 years I lived outside, and I saved up no money that whole time. I didn't save a single penny. Like I had less when I came back home than when I did when I left. If you want me to be honest with you, I want to be truthful here. Like that's how it was for me. I didn't make any big money moves. I didn't do any fucking company. Fuck all that. No, I did not. I was being lazy and I was just having fun. When I moved out of that one apartment that I had, and I finally decided like, okay, now it's time to move back in with my mom. So 2022, now we're fast forwarding to 2022. 2022 January is when I quit my job at Verizon. It had been 2 years. There was no room for growth, and I needed a change of scenery. I knew I couldn't keep selling phones forever, so I had to get out. And as soon as I did get out, I realized, you know, now that I have no money coming in, I have to move back home. So that's what I did. I moved back home January of 2022. Same month that I quit my job, I also moved back in with my mom. Now I'm blessed. I'm lucky to be able to say that I had someone that I could fall back onto, which was my mother. And obviously my brother was still here, and he would make fun of me all the time. You know, he's like mocking me for going out and moving out and everything, and now coming back home, which is fine. I mean, he's my brother. Like, it's his job to make fun of me all the time. So I lived with it. He said some funny shit though. Like, I can't even lie. Some of it was pretty fucking funny. But yeah, I moved back in, and that's when I was like, all right, it's time for me to change it up and get into real estate. Now, mind you, I always wanted to get into real estate, but I wanted to be a real estate investor, not an agent. I'm glad that we're coming on to the real estate topic because I get asked this question all the time. I still have my Instagram post on my page about my real estate announcement, even though I don't practice real estate anymore. Once I came back to my mom's house, January 2022, I was like, all right, I got to do this. This is my path. I need to find something. I started panicking a little bit, honestly, because I was like, what am I doing with my life? Like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, yeah, it was cool. Like, I was 19, 20, 21, but now I'm like 22. Like, I got to get my shit together. Like, what the hell is going on? So I started studying for my license, and that was around the same time that I got into a relationship, which was good. I was pretty happy because, it was funny actually. The exact same day that I got my real estate license was the day that I asked that girl to become my girlfriend as well. Exact same day. Because I wanted to I wanted to kill two birds with one stone, but that's not, I don't know what I was waiting for. Like, that girl, like, I knew I was going to date her for a while, but I didn't know when, and I was like, you know what, let's just wait and make it like this special day where like I get two good news at once. So I got my real estate license, new girlfriend, new license, new job, new career, new Cheyenne. Boom, let's go. This is how I was feeling. That's how I was feeling. That's literally that sound right there describes how I was feeling at the time. And then I start to work as a real estate agent. Now, let me tell you, I have nothing against people that work in the real estate industry as a whole. It's a money-making industry. No doubt about it. Like, if you talk to any basic investor, basic entrepreneur, if you talk to anyone really, like any normal human with some common fucking sense knows that real estate is a great investment. It's great no matter what. It's even if you don't have a property, you could still invest in real estate bonds and stocks that are driven by real estate funds. Like, you don't necessarily have to buy a house in order to call yourself an investor, but it's good to have your hand in the real estate industry no matter what industry you are. Like, even if you work as a computer technician, you should have some equity. Some of your portfolio, your investment portfolio, should be diversified into real estate. Like, that's just basic common knowledge. And I always knew that. I always knew that the rich use real estate in order to get richer. And I thought, okay, what's the best way for me to get into this industry, to break into this industry? So what did I do? I became an agent. And from there, I wanted to eventually, go up the ranks or whatever that means in real estate, and then eventually become an investor. But let me tell you what happened. I saw that the business of real estate, the actual work of real estate, it's nothing but really asking people for business. That's it. When I was at Verizon selling phones, I thought to myself, okay, I need to take this one next step. What should I do? What's one thing after selling phones? Cars? Well, I didn't want to become a car salesman. Although I probably should have, because they make fucking bank, car salesmen. So what's after cars? I was like, let's go sell houses. But selling houses is very different than selling phones or even selling cars, for that matter. Because you're dealing with the biggest financial decision of someone's life, potentially. For most people, it is the biggest financial decision of their entire lives. It's that house that they're going to buy. And in this day and age, in this market, with inflation the way that it is, with the rates, people were not as eager to buy or sell as they were a few years ago. So I found myself calling people every day, 150 dials every single day. I was doing cold calls. And I would find myself like, obviously, you hear like the no's all the time. People say nope. Like, I would give my pitch, we have a whole pitch that's written down in front of us and whatever. And you can, shape it to your own form so that it sounds like you and it's your version of the pitch. But everyone just fucking says no. They're just like, nope, click, hang up, hang up, hang up, hang up. Some people, they hear you for like 5 seconds and then you're like, maybe they're listening to some. Actually, no. Some people, you would give your whole pitch and it would sound great, and then you're waiting for a response and you realize they already fucking hung up. Like, they hung up on you like 10 minutes ago, actually. Well, I mean, it's not 10 minutes, but you get the point. So instead, what would happen? Instead of me, this is what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to call, are you interested in this? No? Okay. Are you interested in that? No? Okay. Can I follow up with you later? Okay. Bye-bye. That's what I was supposed to do. And like, the whole game of real estate is follow up. But I would find myself sitting and having 30-minute conversations with people that I was supposed to be cold calling. I would find myself talking to an old man and him telling me about how his wife just passed away, and the woman that he truly wanted to be with in life, her husband passed away in the same week as his wife. So now they're together and they live in the same house that his now dead wife used to live in. And he's telling me about how this girl that he's with right now is the one that he truly loved. And he's like crying to me over the phone because he says he loved his original wife. He loved her to death. But now he's with the one person that he truly loves. He never cheated, never did anything. I sat on the phone with that guy for 30 minutes, 40. We were both in tears by the end of the fucking phone call. I swear to God. And he was like inviting me over to his house to come on his boat. He's like, I have a boat and I live on a lake, because he lived like right on this lake, like this man-made lake here. I think all lakes are man-made. Maybe not, whatever. And he's like, I want you to come by sometime. I'm like, of course I will. I never did. And I never followed up with him, even though he asked me to follow up. But so many times I would have these type of conversations with people over the phone, where like right in the beginning, I found out that they don't have any real estate needs, but we would just start talking about life. I'm sitting and I'm laughing with people, having great conversation, when I'm supposed to be selling and I'm supposed to be, cold calling another 100 people. I honestly just love talking to people. Even like in the office, like, because we had like our own little like cubicle type of thing. And I had a coworker who was sitting right next to me, who I feel bad, honestly, because I feel like I would bother her, but she was so nice. Like, we had a little like basketball hoop set up in our office too, like one of those like mini ones, like the mini hoops, and we would start playing like for $5 or for like a Starbucks or like for a boba or something. I would bother her and be like, hey, want to go play? We would just go start playing. And then she would tell me about like her school and her deals that she has going on. And then I would talk to my other coworker who has a kid, and she would tell me all about how this kid is like causing so much chaos in the house, and how sometimes she feels stressed, but at the same time she's so happy because her kid is healthy and is smiling and is good. But it's difficult for her because she's now a real estate agent and trying to do the whole mom thing as well. Like, it's... And I was interested. I wanted to hear about these things. Even my main broker, like the guy that I worked for, essentially, the guy that was our leader, I could listen to that guy talk for fucking hours. Like hours. He talks with so much enthusiasm, talks with so much like demand and power, that honestly, I just wanted to talk to him. Like, I just wanted to talk to the guy. I didn't even, like, he would say, like, hit the phones. I was just trying to have a chat with him. Like, I would ask him about his kids and stuff, because he was also Persian. And I learned a lot from him. He was honestly like he had a character. He was a character that you can easily mesh with, because he knows how to talk to people. The guy just oozes like charisma and just easy to talk to. So, but the difference between me and him was that, you know, he went in for the kill. He went in on these phone calls looking for a sale, and he did sell. Like, that guy could fucking sell anything to anyone, and they would buy it from him easy, because he just knows how to sell. Me, on the other hand, I wouldn't say I'm the best salesman. I would say that I'm more of a talker. Like, I'll talk to you and I'll listen to you. But I hate how, like, at the end of these cold calls, at the end of these things, like, I would have to ask again if they needed business or something. It seemed ingenuine. It seemed like I was having this whole conversation with someone just so that I can get something out of them. And that sucks. Because I've been on the receiving end of that. Like, when someone just is talking to you just so that they can get something out of you. And it's not fun, honestly. So, you know, you want to believe that the person that you're talking to is actually interested in what you have to say. And when you're in sales, you know, you have to, the fact of the matter is that sometimes you have to act like you give a shit about something that you really don't. Like, that's sales. And I didn't want to be that guy anymore. I didn't. I did not sell one house. Not a single home. To anyone. And what's funny is, like, I had a few leads, obviously. You know, you call so many people, statistically, someone is going to say yes. Like, you call 1,000 people, someone is bound to say yes. Right? And they did, eventually. But I never followed up with them. I never did it. Like, I could have, but I didn't. Because I felt like they're making the biggest decision of their lives. Like, who am I to help this motherfucker out? Like, who am I to help this person that has saved up all this money for their lives, and they're not trying to buy a home for themselves or for their families, and they want my help to get them situated? Like, I just couldn't believe it sometimes. Maybe I let the pressure get to me. Maybe I didn't believe in myself. That whole industry, like, and you're supposed to be networking a lot of the time, right? Like, that's a big deal. Because how are you successful in real estate? You got to have leads. How do you get leads? You start talking to people. You start to network. So one time I went to this networking event. Let me tell you something. A networking event is like a cult. It's scary, honestly, going in there. And don't expect to make any friends, really. Like, you'll meet some people, you know, some associates, some colleagues, maybe. But it's just so funny, like, seeing, like, these people, like, all trying to get something either out of you or sell something to you. It's so, it was like the rat race. And everyone's, like, on full display, trying to show their unique quality, their unique business. And don't get me wrong, I have the ultimate respect for people that are trying to put their name out there. But these networking events were not for me. No. Like, I went to one and I started talking to a few people. And they were nice. Everyone's nice to you, obviously. But but then you see these, like, arrogant looking, like, just douchebags. You know a douchebag when you see one. Like, I had the douchebag look, me myself, as a real estate agent, like when I was just starting off, like the hair and the clothes and just the energy, like it was douchebag energy. And I didn't want to be a part of it. I did not like it. You know, in phone sales, when you're selling phones at Verizon, people come to you. You're not cold calling people in order to get business from them. Like, no one's going to answer a cold call from a fucking Verizon sales rep to come in and get a new iPhone. Okay? It's not going to happen. But for houses, you got to be on the hunt. They wanted me to door knock. Door knock. Can you fucking believe that in this day and age, going and knocking on someone's house and asking them, hey, nice house you got here. Think about selling it anytime soon? Shotgun right to the face. If I come up to your door and I ever say that, please, just end me right there. End me right there. I'm begging you. I couldn't do it, man. It wasn't for me. So I got out of it after a year. I still have my license is still active and everything. I just don't practice real estate as of right now. So, yeah, that's and then I started this podcast. I started this podcast like a couple months. I mean, yeah, so I stopped real estate practicing and then I got into this. I actually do think like this is like my calling, honestly. I'm pretty confident in it. I know I have to be consistent with it, and I'll do just fine. All right, we're coming in on 46. Jesus Christ, dude. How does one yap for 46 minutes nonstop? All right, I have 6 tips. These are the 6 tips that I wanted to give last year, but I didn't because I was lazy. And now I'm going to let the whole world know my 6 tips because I'm 23 now and I've been in America now, or I've been back in America now for half a decade, and I feel like I've learned a lot. And if you're an 18-year-old or you're a 19-year-old or even a 20-year-old watching this, then listen to some of these things. Maybe you don't have to make the same mistakes that I did, you know? So you learn quicker and you can take advantage and get off to a right start in your young adult life. Because, you know, you're going to be an adult pretty soon. I mean, I don't know if you're technically in America, you're an adult at 18 or 21. I think you're a fully formed adult at 21. That's when you should be considered like an adult. Because those are like that 21, like officially when you're legal to do like anything, like you can do anything, and then you choose to do the right thing, that's adulthood right there. So let me give you some tips on how to start your young adulthood right. Can I drink some water, guys? Is that okay with everyone? Yeah? Is the audience okay? Guys, can I please drink some... Wait. Thank you. I'll drink some water. All right. So, my number one piece of advice, and this is not like in order, but like my first piece of advice, you could say, not the number one, is don't get too caught up in a relationship. Now, hear me out. I know. There's a lot of you guys that think that you guys are going to find the love of your life, or think that you have found the love of your life at 18, 19, 20. Let me just, make this crystal clear for you, sweetheart. It's not the case. Okay, reality check. That person is not going to be in your life forever. Or at least that relationship is not going to last forever. Like, I mean, I want to give statistics, but like, it's literally like, I've had so many friends that date someone that they genuinely think that they're going to marry each other eventually one day, and then they break up, and it's like they don't even consider each other real people anymore. It's like they don't even exist to each other anymore. Okay? Now, I'm not saying don't get into a relationship. If you find someone that you truly love and they love you, then by all means, go ahead. But I don't want you to put your full mental capacity, your mental status, all on one girl. Don't be fully dependent on one girl. And if it's the same if you're a girl, don't put all your energy and focus into one guy. Okay? Like, sometimes you get too caught up in a relationship and you forget about your own goals. And when you're at that age, you need to be focusing on you more than anything, not another person. That's the time for you to grow. It's time for you to have fun. It's the time for you to experience things. And you can still have fun and experience things with a partner. If you're in a healthy relationship that you guys both know like this is healthy and you're not bullshitting each other and you guys are honest with each other, then by all means, keep it going. But I know most people, like fucking 56% of marriages end in a divorce. You think your relationship at 20 is going to last forever? Wake up. Wake the fuck up, okay? You have far more important things to focus on than a relationship right now at this age. Again, I'm only speaking to like the young people, like 18 to 21, 18 to 23. Like, I mean, mainly 18 to 21 because those are your prime years. Those are your years of experience and living life to the fullest, trying things out, whatever. So when you're limited by, not limited, but when you only have one person to focus on, sometimes you get distracted from the main goal, which is to build yourself or to experience yourself, or to experience other things, you know? I do, however, believe that if you're not too caught up in a relationship, you shouldn't be too caught up in a relationship. I do believe, however, that you should have opposite gender friends. That is so important. Like, I cannot fathom just how crucial that is for you guys. Like, if you're a guy, you need to have friends that are girls, like, and that you don't look at them sexually or whatever. You just consider them friends, just friends. And if you're a girl, you should have friends that are guys. And a lot of people look at me funny when I tell them that. I'm like, they're like, yeah, Shine, but you know how it is with guys. And dude, the fuck? What do you mean? No, I don't know how it is. Can you not? Do you have to fuck someone? Like, is that how it works? Like, can you guys just not be friends? Is that not possible? The reason I say this is because, like, it's important to have both perspectives. The fact that one of my best friends was a girl, actually a few of my best friends are girls, is a blessing to me. I have this newfound respect. Like, guys that don't have friends that are girls, you can always fucking tell. You can always tell the difference between that guy and the girl and the guy that does have friends that are girls. Because I've seen guys that have no girlfriends, they like talk to girls and it's like a fucking, it's like they're trying to crack a code or something. It's like they don't know what to say. They don't know what to say. Or if they do say something, they're too bold with it. Or if they see that the girl is just being nice with them and offering them some conversation, they think like, oh, this is my time to get it in, or it's my time to fucking hit it out the park. Bro, chill. Have some female counterparts. As a female, you should have male counterparts. It's simple. Like, just having that perspective, it's not only, in my opinion, is it necessary for a guy or for a girl to have that perspective, it's a sense of respect as well. Because you're seeing things like one of my best friends, she would offer this new perspective to me every time I talked to her. Every time. There were times that we would sit and talk for like 4 or 5 hours on end. 4 or 5 hours. We would talk about this and that and this. And not always just talks. We would argue too. We would argue, we would debate about certain topics because she felt a certain way about this and I felt a certain way about that. But at the end of the conversation, I always learned something. Always. I always got something out of the conversation. Something new that I didn't grasp before. And there are certain things that I will never understand fully. Because I'm not a girl. There are things that I might never fully understand. And there are things that I say to her that she's like, what the fuck? And she will never understand. But it's important to have that conversation. That's all I'm saying. It's important to see the other person's perspective, other person's point of fucking view. So crucial. I'm blessed to say that I have had like some of the smartest, like genuinely some of the smartest girls to call friends. Like and even guys too. Like my guy friends, I can go on for days about. Like my brothers, they know who they are, and I'm with them until the very end. I'm appreciative of both my brothers and my sisters. I call them my sisters, honestly. Because we're like a family. And I value their advice. Dude, sometimes, this is like a whole thing on itself, but sometimes getting advice from a girl is better than getting advice from a guy. Only some guys know this, though. Because a girl, they will understand you more. They will... What's the right term for it? Especially a friend that's a girl, they will allow you to be vulnerable in front of them. And I'm talking about a girl. There's a whole debate on whether or not you should be vulnerable in front of your girl, but I'm not talking about your girl. I'm talking about a girl. I'm talking about a friend that's a girl. Like, they will give you a different perspective that you can't get from your boys, you know? It's very simple. So yeah, if you, that's my second piece of advice. Or no, I'm sorry, that's my first. Jesus, I gotta get through this advice thing, man. Yeah. If you're a guy, have friends that are girls. And if you're a girl, have friends that are guys. Know the boundaries, obviously. Know the boundaries, respect it. Don't get too caught up in a relationship. And, treat people with respect. Respect their perspective and listen to what they have to say, because maybe you can learn something. You never know when and where you will learn something new. That's my first piece of advice. Second piece of advice is drugs and alcohol are always going to be there. Always. But everything in moderation. This is the most, like, I cannot stress this enough, because I have friends that, like, I grew up with, and like we would go to parties, we would drink and stuff, but some of them never outgrew that. Some of them still like do it all the fucking time, like it's their only thing. And it got very tiring for me at one point. To each their own, everyone has their own thing, but if you're a young guy, like, don't just drink away all your nights or smoke away all your nights and then you just say, like, it was for the fun of it or whatever. You're not even gonna fucking remember what happened. Don't act like you're doing it for the memories. You won't even remember. Your brain will not even allow you to remember. Your brain probably doesn't remember so many of those nights that were supposed to be memories or fun and getting fucked up. Like, you probably don't remember half the shit that happened, do you? Let's be real here. Let's be fucking real here for a second. Everything in moderation. Just don't abuse it. I'm not saying don't. I'm not like the... And you're looking at Exhibit A of someone that abused it. I'm telling you from experience, your brain will thank you if you slow down a bit, okay? You don't always have to be a fucking animal. All right, that's my second piece of advice. Everything in moderation. Third, save some money. Okay? I get it. Like, that. This is kind of against what most people say on the internet. It's like, go spend, go enjoy yourself, the experience. You will make money back, but you will never get this time back. Okay, buddy. let me let me stop you right there, okay? Because a lot of you people, they just want to go spend money on bullshit. Like if you're going and if you go into a bar, if you go to Saturday night, you go to a bar, you drink with your friends, you spend $100, whatever. You go out to get something to eat, whatever. $100 total night you spend, or $200, whatever. If that's your Saturday night, and then the next week again Saturday night you want to go, and then you tell your friends like, hey man, like I'm just not feeling this, like I don't want to do this shit, like, and then your friends tell you, come on bro, you're only young once, like do it for the experience, do it for the fun and all this bullshit. You look at your friends in their fucking face and you tell them this. You say, hey, I don't want to join. Thank you though. Have fun and be safe. That's what you tell them, okay? But if your friend comes to you and you guys just had a Saturday night out, and then the next weekend your friend comes to you and says, hey dude, let's go hiking today, or let's go by the beach today, or let's go try this new place that I found on Instagram, this food place, this restaurant, I want to go and try it out, let's go try that out. Now you're fucking talking. Now you're talking. Save money for things that really matter. Not this bullshit that you won't remember. Go save your money for real experiences. Okay? And don't tell me your fucking weekly club visit is a great experience every single time. I'm sure it is. But it wasn't different than the last one, and the last one, and the last one, and the last one, and the last one. Switch it up a little bit. Okay? Save some money. Don't just spend it on everything for the experience, and start investing little by little. Oh yeah, this is part of this third piece of advice. Start investing, please. I have a very little investment fund that I have on the side. Whether it be crypto, whether it be stocks, bonds, I mean, just invest in something. If it's hard for you, you can reach out to me personally. I will send you a course. Just kidding, everyone. Relax. It's not hard. If it's really that hard for you, all you have to really do is just Google like how to start investing, and it'll tell you. It's easier now than it ever has been. You can literally have an app on your phone that's investing money for you, and you just check on it daily. Like it's not like you're investing big bucks, but you start little by little and it compounds over time. Okay, you put it into a standard S&P 500 index fund, that itself will grow at a rate of 8 to 12% per year. And that alone will take care of so many things. You can obviously play around more and start investing into individual stocks too, but that's up to you. You have to do your own research and then invest. But, most stocks, I'll sum it up for you. Most stocks in America, they go this way, up. They go up. Okay, at least the big companies do. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. Amazon, Apple, Google, like let me ask you something. Do you think that Apple is going to go bankrupt within the next 50 years? I didn't think so either. So go ahead, put your money in some Apple. Or if you just put it in the index fund, it's like you're putting your money pretty much in all of the stocks, all of the best stocks together at one time. So start doing it, man. It's simple. Or actually there's this app, and this is not like a sponsor or anything, obviously, but there's this app called Acorns that you connect your bank account to, and it will automatically invest like spare change in your bank account or whatever for you into the stock market. And you don't even have to choose what stocks or anything. Like it'll do it all for you automatically. And then one day you open up your app and you see, oh wow, hey, I have like $700 in here that I didn't even know about, because it's just taking money from you little by little weekly. So definitely, when you're young, I cannot stress this enough. When you're young, ladies and gentlemen, start investing. Your future self will thank you. It's a great habit to build. And just do it like automatically. Don't do it like, do it to where like you don't have to even think about it, that it automatically gets deducted from your bank account. You can set that up too, by the way. Just Google all the shit that I'm telling you. All right. So that was 3, save some money, start investing. 4, try a bunch of new things. Okay, let me get crisscross applesauce for this. you should try things. I obviously did say save money, but remember, I said save money for the experiences, for the real experiences. Like if you're going to go on vacation or something, that's a great idea. I wish I had gone on more vacations in the last few years than I really did. I really didn't go anywhere. I really didn't go to too many places. But you should start trying new things, because now is the time to experience and not play it safe. That's the biggest thing I can tell you. Right now, like now while you're young, if you're 18 to something years old, you don't have anything to lose. Okay? Like, especially in terms of like money, like, I mean, most 18-year-olds, they don't have $2,000 or $1,000 saved up, you know? So if you have a little bit of money, you should use it to experience new things, try new things. And when I say try new things, I don't just mean going on vacation or going skydiving. Like, that's fantastic. But try new business ventures. And what I mean by that is, if you like music, try making music. See how that goes. If you like to act, why not? Try acting. If you like sales, go work at a car dealership or something. Like, now is the time for you to experiment things. A lot of people that I know in that age group, or at least most of the people that I know, are in school right now. And that's totally fine. And I know school takes up a lot of time. But you can prioritize. You can schedule your time in a way to where school doesn't take up 100% of your time. Okay? And we both know you have, like, between all the scrolling that you do on your phone, all the pointless things that you're watching on YouTube, you know damn well that you can prioritize, set some time aside to try a new venture. You absolutely can. No excuses. Come on. Even if it's like working out. Like if you've never worked out before and you want to try to go working out or going for runs or biking or anything. It can literally be anything. But now is not the time to play it safe. It's the time for risk. It's a time to try new things, because the repercussions now are not as serious if you're older than if you're older. Like if you're like 35, 40, 50, like you can't fucking do, and if you have a family and shit, especially, like it gets more difficult as time goes on. So if you're saying now you don't have the time for it, buckle up, buddy. Buckle up. Just wait until a few years. You're really not going to have the time anymore. So use your time to try new things, because you got nothing much to lose. All right. That's tip number 4. Try a bunch of things. Okay. Number 5. Distinguish your inner circle from your outer circle. Have good friends. Now, this is like one of the most crucial. I'm very blessed to say that I have a decent amount of friends. I would consider it a decent amount. Some say it's small, some say it's big, but I say it's a good amount. But of those friends that I have, there's only a handful that I consider like my family. Like my family. There's only a select few of them that have even seen my family. Like if you have seen my family, then you're pretty much in the circle. Or at least, I take that's a big thing for me. Like bringing someone over to my house and showing them to my family, I think that's a very big deal. You can have a lot of friends. You can have like 1 million friends with you. You can know 1 million people. But just know the inner circle, your close ones, from your outer circle. That's so, so crucial. Be nice to everyone. Be respectful to everyone. But know your inner circle. So crucial. And if you don't have an inner circle, then fucking get one. Okay? And your inner circle doesn't have to be 10 people or 5 people even. It can just be 1 guy or 2 guys. If you're a girl, 1 or 2 girls, you know? or one guy, one girl. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't. Just have someone that you can call a good friend. I'm very, very blessed, and I'm honored to say that I have some friends that I know if I call them and something is down or something's not good right now, they will help me. I'm blessed to say that. I have some brothers and I have some sisters, and you should find some too. It's funny because right now in America, like a statistic came out that like men are like the loneliest that they ever have been in years, which is crazy to me because I think like just go get a friend. But I know it's not that easy. And I know people sometimes struggle with something like that. Maybe I'll make another episode talking about like, you know, social things. How to make more friends or whatever. I've never had trouble making friends, honestly. I have a trouble with just the follow-up, honestly. Like, that's not my strongest suit. But I'm going to work on that. So that's my fourth piece of advice. Oh, sorry. That was my fifth piece of advice. Distinguish your inner circle from your outer circle. Have good friends. Friends that you can call family. Okay? And my last piece of advice is be active. I mean, listen, you're young, be active. I'm 23 and I just went and I played soccer last weekend with my friends, and I was out of breath after like 30 to 45 minutes. We were supposed to play like an hour and a half. We were supposed to play an hour and a half. I used to play an hour and a half and beg to play for another 20 to 30 minutes. Like, you could not get me off the field. Now I'm getting exhausted. Do you understand? Like, I'm 23, motherfucker. I'm supposed to be, like, prime. Like, if I was in the NBA right now, I should have, like, a ring, pretty much. Like, these are my best years. I would be taken care of if I was in the NBA right now. Like, this is, like, that time. So take care of your body. That's the biggest thing I just wanted to say. It's like, take care of your health. It's so important. Like, get outside, get some sun, go for walks, go for a run. That was an accidental rhyme. I'm just having some fun. I am a rapper in an alternate universe, ladies and gentlemen. Be active, man. Like, you're young. Take care of your lungs. I mean, take care of your health. If it's the gym, go to the gym. If it's playing basketball, go play some basketball. Like, the only thing that has been consistent in my life for the last like 2-3 years is the gym. Like, that's the only thing that I have really, like, I can truly pat myself on the back and be proud of myself for, is my gym going. Because I fucking, like, I am consistent with that shit. Monday through Friday, every morning, you will find me at the gym. Saturday and Sunday are rest days. But Monday through Friday, I will see you there. That's like the one thing that I'm so proud that I'm consistent with. Because it's like it's more than just me wanting to, obviously I go in, I want to look good, right? Like, don't bullshit yourself. People say, oh yeah, the health, you know, yeah, I want to be healthy, no shit, but I also want to look good. I want to look shredded, you could say. But more than that, it's like a therapy for me. I swear, going to the gym, it's like actual therapy. And I always go alone. I never go with people. I've been asked to go with people. I never go because I'm telling you, like, the gym is like my therapy session. Like, it's literally like my zone. Sometimes I go in there, I literally don't open my lips one time throughout a 2-hour workout, and then I walk out. It's so peaceful. AirPods in the entire time, just listening to my music, doing my workout, and then I finish and I go home. So whatever that is for you, that activity, whether it doesn't have to be the gym, you know, gym is great. If you could do the gym, kudos to you. But if you do other things too, just get a sweat in. that's something that I get a little bit of a sweat in, you know? I see people that are like 80 years old in the gym right now, struggling to walk up a step, struggling to walk up the stairs. And I think to myself, like, damn, you know, like I really take this shit for granted. Like these little things, we really do take some of these things for granted. Like how fast I go double step up these stairs, and she's struggling to get up this one step. You know, it really puts into perspective, like, our bodies, we got to take care of them, you know? We only have one body. This is our fucking temple, this body. So let's just take some care of it. That's all. Take care of it. Be active. There will soon be a time where you cannot be active, so be active now. What else? I mean, I'm so happy right now because I've been wanting to do this. I've been wanting to share some thoughts that I had on my mind for a while, and I'm sorry to everyone. It took an hour and 15 minutes for me to get it off my chest, but yeah. That's the last 5 years for me. And I was looking at my, because you have to, you know, renew your driver's license every 5 years here. So I was looking at my old driver's license picture, like when I took it, like when I was 18. And now I'm 23. Maybe I'll show you guys a picture or something, but I look so young. And I know that's crazy to think. Like I'm only 23, okay? I'm not like a senior citizen, but time flies. Time really flies, guys. I remember taking that picture in the fucking DMV, thinking like, okay, these next 5 years are mine. And now I'm here on a podcast. It's just crazy how the world works. It's very interesting. I didn't know I'd be here, but we're here. These next 5 years, though, from 23 to 28, Jesus Christ. Better get my head in the game. All right. That's it for my 23rd birthday, guys. I'm 23. It's crazy. 23. Like 21, 22, you know, it's like, okay, it's nothing. You're a kid still. But 23, it's like the death of your early 20s. You are now in the mid fucking 20s. That's where you're at. No more fucking around, bro. Crazy. All right. Ladies and gents, I think I'm going to call it right here. Yeah. Thank you guys for sitting and listening to me talk for an hour and almost 20 minutes now. Jeez, let me get out of here. That's episode 3 of Sherapy. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you learned something. Take care, guys. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah, and I was going to say what I have planned for the next 5 years, but it's really just like, you'll see. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.